Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
Matt's coming. No. When do we start?
Welcome back to Catholic Creatives or something like that.
In nomine patre.
Whatever we were replaced by.
It's funny that we
Serves me right.
That is 110% comeuppance for what happened with the... Really, it's been a weird week.
The Weed and Whiskey podcast.
Yeah, we went from Weed and Whiskey podcast to
Catholic Creatives.
Sisters of Mercy.
So, here's what happened. One morning last week, I woke up and I had on my podcast app 30 notifications. I don't listen to that many shows. There's no way that I have 30 new shows. It was Catholic Creatives has 30 new shows. And I went, what the hell is this? And I unsubscribed.
You had guilt, is what you had. Good old-fashioned
Turns out
Catholic guilt.
The hosting site that I use has been having some uh-ohs recently and has been mixing up podcasts. And we were replaced by Catholic Creatives, and our numbers took a bit of a dive because a bunch of other people unsubscribed too.
Oh, no.
I know. We were on a really good uptick this month.
Did it also affect the Buffy back issue bin?
No, that one's fine.
I think there's some underhandedness from the people at the Buffy back issue bin trying to usurp us.
It took a while for me to fix it too. But yeah, if you're listening to this, hey, glad you're still around, because...
If you're looking for the Catholic broadcast, well, we're sorry.
Yeah, Catholic Creatives, who I was told also ended up taking over the Weed and Whiskey podcast.
That would be a shock.
The Catholics are coming in hard.
Repent.
I never know what to do at Catholic weddings. I'm is it offensive for me to participate, or is it offensive for me not to participate? I don't really care either way. I just want to do the thing that's going to piss people off the least.
I think it's offensive when you go up and you actually take the entire chalice of sacramental wine and chug it.
I've never had real wine at any kind of church service. I mean, I've eaten their bland crackers. I'll eat your bland cracker if that's less offensive.
I think it's probably more offensive to them if you're not Catholic to take part in their sacrament of communion.
Well, then I have offended people, sir.
This is not in the news because this isn't news.
It's all the same to me. I don't really know. I'm just I'll do it if it's what I'm supposed to do here.
Yeah, the communion wafer, as it's called, it's not a cracker or a Jeez-It.
Use some salt. It's fine.
I don't think it would need salt. I think maybe a little butter, maybe a little dipping sauce, a little jam on it.
We've lost the Catholics that listen to the show, that's for sure.
Well, no, maybe they're thinking, no, these are good ideas. I'm going to take this back to the Father.
To the Vatican with you.
Yes, exactly. Pope Francis is progressive. You could go up there and have your choice of sacramental jellies.
Anywho, so I'm going to take a quick plug. I usually do plugs at the end. I will say, if you haven't reviewed the show, please go do it to make us more visible. With this whole kerfuffle on the hosting end, we lost all of our view count.
Oh, no.
So it looks basically like almost all of our shows have been listened to 0 times.
That's not good. Which
has decreased our visibility. So if you could go review the show, that would help us regain things that the service I pay for should have never lost in the first place.
Sounds like you've been having a hell of a week with the podcast.
So yeah, if you could do that, that would actually help us out more than usual right now. We're having a really good uptick of new listeners. Hey, how's it going, by the way?
Yeah, we're glad you're joining us.
But this is going to give us a pretty big hit. So if you could actually review the show 5 stars or higher.
I don't think it was higher than 5 stars.
No, it goes higher. Actually, the 5 is low. 5 is the minimum.
Okay, yes, you have to at least... You unlock the next level if you rate 5 stars. That's right. That's what I heard. That's how I understand it.
And on another weird promotional beat that really has nothing to do with that, my other show, the Buffy Back Issue Bin, this week is a good week to jump on. It's starting a whole new chapter of the show, so I would recommend jumping on now. That happens every so often, and right now is a really good point to jump onto it. Episode 17.
Oh, we're on episode
65?
Yeah, see, we're well ahead of that.
Yeah, but that show I have 8 recorded in advance.
That's also a good point.
And edited.
Wow.
I have 2 that I'm in the middle of editing.
You do a lot of editing.
I do. It takes a long time. But trust me, you are happy with my editing. Last week's show was 45 minutes. I cut about half an hour. You are happier that way.
That's true. It's very true. It's damn true, in fact.
I cut 15 minutes of us talking about Rocky. Had nothing to do with anything. We just quoted lines for like 15 minutes.
That's fair. That's reasonable.
Not in the news. You see the Rocky director died?
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh.
The director of Rocky 1 and 5. And he passed away this week.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah, it was
Then
sad. Speaking of the news, let's do that thing.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
All kinds of news this week. It's a big news week.
I like big news weeks.
Some follow-up for last week. With Adam West passing, there was a night in Los Angeles where the bat signal was shown over the town hall, and there was this whole big thing for Adam West.
Mm-hmm.
And not just any bat signal, but like the old 66 bat signal. I didn't see any of the speeches or anything. I saw a bunch of photos from it. It looked like it was really touching.
Yeah, no, I heard positive reviews from it. The mayor of LA made a nice speech about Adam West, so
Yeah.
it was a well-received event. It was trending on
It's
Twitter
weird.
for
Like,
some time.
people were so negative on that show for so long.
Well, I mean, the original series for Star Trek was a flop. Remember that, and now it's like classic TV.
Except for season 3, which is unwatchable.
Well, we've discussed this before, but in
Stand
general,
by it.
someday you're gonna be like, actually, season 3 not bad,
No,
and I'm gonna be like,
It is awful.
you're a liar and a hypocrite, sir.
Well, I'll never know because I can't imagine returning to it.
For $1 million,
Yes, I would return to it.
see, there you go. So
I would
anytime-
do it
yeah.
like without sleep.
You just like would plow right through the entire season.
Get through Spock's brain, call it a day.
Okay, there you go. Would you do it sober?
For $1 million, I'd do anything for $1 million.
I know you would. Someday somebody's gonna have $1 million, and I'm gonna become friends with them. Dance, puppet.
I would dance. I would belly dance. I would pull. I'm running out of dances here. I would Macarena.
Would you twerk?
How would I? I said pole dance, and then I said I'm running out of dances.
And
That
then
is,
you went right to Macarena.
I don't know. I would box step for you.
I would Charleston.
Yes. I would time warp for you.
It's just a jump to the left. Anyway, let's go back to the news. We're off track. We're gonna stay on topic this week.
This is something I'm going to say to try and avoid. This is more of a public service announcement. There have been some Justice League reshoot photos that have hit the internet. Don't find them. They will ruin a good surprise, which it was like, oh my god, they're doing that. Then I went, oh,
They're doing that.
well, that's ruined.
This is what you get for perusing the dark web.
It wasn't, I was just going to like news websites. Like, look at these Justice League reshoot photos. It definitely has this thing in it. I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely that thing.
And now
Damn it.
that's definitely that thing. Does it get you a little more hyped for the movie?
They're definitely going campier than I ever would have expected.
Really?
In a good way.
Okay.
But when I saw it, I was like, oh, that would have been such a fun surprise. Don't find those photos.
Okay. So people, brace yourselves for surprising.
You know what? Let's just stick with some Justice League news. There's a bunch of it this week.
Hmm.
Composer of Batman v Superman, Junkie XL, stupid ass name, was originally the composer for Justice League. He's out. You know who's in?
Danny Elfman.
Did you guess that or did you know
I guessed
it?
that.
That's exactly it!
Yes! I win!
You scared the dog.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kirby.
Yeah, it's Elfman.
That's awesome.
He's in, baby. He's scored a Batman before, a Batman Returns.
I was thinking about that the other day. We haven't had a good Danny Elfman soundtrack in some time.
Probably Spider-Man was the last
Spider-Man,
one.
yeah. I was actually watching some Spider-Man clips the other day.
Yeah, that's a really good theme.
It is.
But yeah, Danny Elfman is scoring Justice League now. Do you think he will sneak in hints of Batman? Also, side note, I want him to.
Yes. Now, the question is that movie copyrighted? Although it's a Warner Brothers movie. So
Warner Brothers owns it. It doesn't matter. He can
Yes.
do it.
He can.
It's all Elfman, baby. Will he sneak some Simpsons in there?
No,
Probably not.
I doubt it.
That'd be amazing, but yeah, Danny Elfman is going to score Justice League.
Yeah, it's getting to be at that time where you got to score the movie, so.
Yeah, because that's usually, I mean, they'll do themes
So-
ahead of time, but
yeah.
usually you have to score it last because you got to work
You-
with,
The edit.
yeah. And then we've talked about this before, last week, maybe the week before, of massive Justice League reshoots.
Yes.
Jeff Johns on Twitter basically dismissed those things, kind of in a weird way. Someone made a fake Joss Whedon account. It was like Joss_Whedon. He copied the same Twitter picture. He's like, hey, Jeff, thanks for letting me reshoot absolutely everything in this movie. And then Jeff Johns retweeted it. He's like, yeah, we're also including Spider-Man and Scooby-Doo in this as well. Just kind of like a, it's not actually as big as it is.
like an up yours kind of thing.
And then that fake Joss Whedon account got suspended, but either way, it was retweeted by Jeff Johns. That's the only reason I saw it. But basically dismissing the idea of like massive total overhaul reshoots, which they certainly don't have time for.
No, not at all. Or at least anything that has beyond practical effects in it.
Yeah. I mean, there's still time for some visual effects, especially if they've already had like model work done ahead of time. But you know what? Let's keep the news on the DC side, and then we'll hop the pond over to Marvel. On the comic book world, one of my favorite current series, All-Star Batman is ending. All-Star Batman has been a series written by Scott Snyder, and there's been a rotation of different artists, and they're basically, and I'm putting this in air quotes, all-star artists, which is very much true. It's been just this very much like who's who of talent on this book. It's going to end at issue 14, which is a really big bummer. The downside for us, main artist Sean Gordon Murphy was supposed to do an arc of it, and now that's been canned, but they announced on Twitter that they were still going to be doing their story or some variation of it continuing, so I'll be excited to see that. So I'll be looking forward to seeing what they do, but I was disappointed to see that their arc on All-Star was canceled.
So, but it's going through what, issue 14?
Yeah,
and
it's up to 11 came
11.
out today. And by today, I mean tomorrow. But by tomorrow, for listeners, I mean today.
So Wednesday.
Pick it up. I liked it. It was good. I read it today.
Right. Good
And
to
by
know.
today, I mean yesterday.
That time in the store with the Thing.
On the Fox Marvel side of things, Deadpool production has begun.
That's a good thing. Finally, there's been a lot of snafus and hang-ups with that. Script problems, director problems, ending problems.
We got the fairly extended trailer at the beginning of Logan, but production has officially begun. Ryan Reynolds tweeted a photo out of him in costume in front of the X-Mansion, so there's probably going to be some kind of X-Men tie-in there. They're on location of that mansion that's used in like 8,000 different movies and TV shows.
So you have to believe that
I want
this
Colossus to come back. That's
might-
all I want.
Might this be a different timeline than the Logan timeline?
No,
Or...
I don't think Deadpool really cares, but I would place it in the new timeline, as you may have noticed on some of my articles on whatculture.com,
Okay.
where I did an X-Men viewing article. I don't get paid for that one anymore. You don't need to look at it. I don't care.
Oh, wow. We'll go back and look at it just for funsies.
Or just go look at the ones I wrote this month that I get paid for.
That too.
Threw up one this week. Oh, the dog's back with a chew toy.
Hey, Kirby.
But Deadpool production has begun. Speaking of production beginning, Dark Phoenix production is about to begin. The latest X-Men movie that isn't Deadpool. And everyone's back, baby. McAvoy's back. He's about to shave his head. He put it on Instagram. Fassbender's back. Don't know why he is. I guess he needs a paycheck.
Oh.
Jennifer Lawrence is back. Why is she there? I feel like she's out of her contract and didn't need to come back for this. They threw a lot of money at her. And the rest.
And the rest.
Yeah.
Everybody else. Beast.
He's back. Everyone's back except for Hugh Jackman.
Yes. I wouldn't expect him to be back.
But I was really surprised that they got Fassbender and Jennifer Lawrence back.
That's going to be interesting to see what they do. Maybe it's like a subplot.
They had to throw a ton of money at them because they were out of contract. Kirby, your collar is picking up awful. I'm going to just take that off.
Is it a single film contract?
I have
Single
no
film contract or
I imagine it is, but I don't know.
uh,
And that's how some of these actors do it up. Directing this movie is Simon Kinberg. He has never directed before. He has written some absolute crap and written some absolute gold. So
I don't know if I'm encouraged or
I don't know.
worried.
I'm at a real 50-50. Jessica Chastain is up to be the main film's villain. Lalandra, who is one of the many loves of Charles Xavier's life.
Attaboy, Charles.
Charles has many loves of his life, but this is the only one that's an alien. If the X-Men can go to space versus space coming to the X-Men, do that.
Like send them outer space?
Yeah, Simon, are you listening?
I hope so.
Mr. Kinberg?
Maybe he was searching for
Actually-
the Catholic Creations podcast
Yeah,
and stumbled
go-
across this.
Send them to space.
Okay. To space.
On the Sony side of things, it was announced that there's going to be, the Venom movie and the Black Cat Silver Sable movie, and those were definitely not taking place in the same universe. But Sony might have a different idea about that.
Oh boy, what's their idea?
Speaking to Sony executive Amy Pascal, and I wrote this quote down to get it exact.
You
because-
spoke to her yourself?
Yes.
Really?
I called her up like, hey, Aim,
I have a question.
what's up with this?
I need some clarification.
speaking to me and me exclusively, that's a lie, but the quote is accurate, that the Sony movies all take place in a world that we're creating for Peter Parker. They'll be adjunct to it. They may be in different locations, but we'll all still be in the same world. And she said there's a chance Tom Holland will appear. So if you're creating a world for Peter Parker, yeah, you'd imagine Spider-Man would appear.
You would think that there might need to be a Spider-Man.
And if Sony owns Spider-Man, what are we doing here? Like, what the hell is this? This sounds like a terrible plan. They're like, oh yeah, we're part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And Marvel's like, no, you're not. Go away.
Well, if memory serves, more than one person was Spider-Man. Peter Parker wasn't always Spider-Man.
What are you going to do? Bring back 30-year-old Andrew Garfield pretending to be 18 again?
No, I'm saying, like, is my history off that Peter Parker always hasn't been Spider-Man? Like, there's been other people who have been Spider-Man? Always Peter Parker.
Yeah, there's been a couple of others.
Yeah, so...
your Ben Rileys, your Miles Moraleses, your Dr. Octopuses.
He was Spider-Man once?
Not all that long ago, but yes.
Oh, wow. I think the extra arms would have given away that he wasn't really Spider-Man.
Well, Dr. Octopus died and then took over Peter Parker's brain, and then Peter Parker died, but then he came back because he was really still inside the brain. Banishing Dr. Octopus, but then there was a clone of Dr. Octopus, and then he went from a fat man to a thin man.
There's a lot that I need to compile and
plus there was all of the
absorb there.
Spider-Verse stuff. This has all been like the last 4 years. That's a lot of Spider-Man. I'm not getting into it. But yes, there's been more than one Spider-Man.
So that's a possible out.
There's been a Spider-Man.
Okay, good to know.
But that's confusing. Everything you do, Sony, is wrong. The only smart thing you did was buy the property, what you did, and now you're holding on to it for all that it's worth.
Because Spider-Man is once again relevant.
Spider-Man's always been relevant.
But like on the big screen.
I don't care about the big screen. The big screen doesn't matter. Merchandising-wise, Spider-Man outsells everyone a minimum 3-1.
Really?
On merchandise. Oh yeah, by far.
Like more than like Captain America?
Captain America's nothing. Captain America's a blip.
What about like
compared to
Iron
Batman,
Man or Thor or Batman?
Compared to Batman, Spider-Man merchandise outsells Batman 3-1.
Wow.
You also might note an abundance of Spider-Man merchandise in my store. Not that I've looked at these numbers. Side note, I've looked at the numbers.
I was gonna say you had to have been familiar with the numbers.
Spider-Man outsells everyone by an unparalleled percentage. And that's always been Sony's downside, is with all these movies, Sony gets all the movie money, but Marvel has always gotten the toy money. Like, even when Sony was doing the movies 100%, Marvel still reaped the benefits. Crazy.
Bring me the money.
Yeah, like, you keep your paltry, multiple hundreds of millions. We got that merchandise money, baby, and Spider-Man is the cash cow.
The George Lucas model.
But then, also, Spider-Man is Sony's biggest franchise of all time, so they're not really losing out either. But Marvel, even when they weren't involved in the movies, still made out more than Sony ever did.
Good for them.
Fun facts.
Not that you've looked at the numbers. Oh, you've looked at the numbers.
I have to look at the numbers. It's literally my job to look at the numbers.
Follow the money trail.
I like to sell Spider-Man merch.
You like to sell anything.
Yes, I'd like to stay in business.
Yes, it's a good thing.
Recently, this week, Scarlett Johansson was on she was on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and she mentioned that she was recently filming a scene that had at least 32 different Marvel characters in it.
What?
There has been nowhere near 32 characters announced for Infinity War. I'm also really curious about the filming schedule of this, because we know the Guardians of the Galaxy have done their piece and they're out. And we know Josh Brolin has done his piece and he's out. I didn't mention it last week, but he threw up some stuff on Instagram. Josh Brolin is in crazy good shape right now. Like, he is massive. And he talked about, because he's going to be Cable in Deadpool, how he ran into Dave Bautista at the gym, and Bautista went up to him. He's like, what happened to you? Like, in a good way.
You got big.
Yeah, so I assume that Brolin's done on Infinity War, and they're still in the middle of that, because Scarlett Johansson's like, oh yeah, we just did this scene with like 32 different characters. So this has to be just logistically a nightmare filming that movie, but yeah, that's what she said on Colbert this week. She also got drunk with her like 70-year-old doppelganger.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, for her movie Rough Night.
Yes.
It's supposed to be pretty funny.
It looks funny.
I have, maybe on Redbox, but I'm certainly not paying for it.
No.
Well, not more than like $2.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to pay for it at some point, but you're not going to like spend a bunch of money to go see it in the theater.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
I'll stay at home.
Good idea.
Good news for fans of Batman the Animated Series. It's like Christmas for us right now because we got that new Batman and Harley movie coming that's all attached to that universe.
Yes.
But also, and I haven't done this in years, I will be replacing a DVD with a Blu-ray.
Really?
Mask of the Phantasm, baby, coming to Blu-ray in July. The best Batman movie ever released.
I would think you're going to buy one of the first copies.
I'll buy it. And I'll go sell my DVD in the store for like $1.99. Go buy it.
Wow.
I bought it years ago. I got my money's worth.
Yes.
It's-
Autograph it. Give it away. Put it in the dollar bin.
Maybe I'll do a raffle for it.
Ooh, a raffle for Zach's copy of Mask of the Phantasm.
I have many raffle tickets left over from my grand opening.
Probably like 1,000.
I don't know. How many are on a roll? Couldn't tell
A lot.
Yeah, a lot of them. But that's coming to Blu-ray, which I'm excited about. That is my hands-down favorite Batman movie. So good news. And something I want to start doing on the show just as this will probably like a monthly thing.
Okay. I like new things in the show. Spice it up a little bit. Give a little more life and pep to our show.
So something I want to start doing in the show, because I do, own a comic book store, is when the monthly sales are released, giving the top 10 of the previous month.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Top 10.
Comic sales for the month of May.
Okay. Number 10.
The Walking Dead, number 167, which Walking Dead might be number 10 on this list, but is number 1 in my store.
Really?
Walking Dead is my bestseller.
Very cool. Number 9.
Guardians of the Galaxy, number 1.
That coincides probably with the release of the movie.
Yes, it absolutely did. You usually find a number 1 when a major movie comes out.
Number 8.
Secret Empire, number 3.
Of the Star Wars stuff.
No, that's the Captain America's a Hydra agent, and he's a big old dickhead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Number 7.
Batman, number 23.
Number 6.
Secret Empire, number 2.
A little more of the Secret Empire.
Oh, we'll have more to go.
Number 5.
I'm surprised about this one. This one honestly surprised me because this did nothing for me. Guardians of the Galaxy, Mission Breakout, number 1, which is tying into a Disney ride.
I wonder if that's like just because Disney sold a lot down near the park.
I have
maybe.
no idea. This did nothing for me.
Number 4.
The Flash, number 22. Flash was the end of the button stuff, I think. Or was that 23? I don't remember.
Number 3.
Batman 22. Part of the button stuff. Definitely part of the button stuff.
What is the button stuff?
The Watchmen button.
Oh,
the
yeah,
smiley
yeah,
face
yes.
with the drip of blood.
Number 2.
Venom, number 150. Technically, the 150th Venom of all time, counting everything they've ever done for Venom, ongoing series, one-shots, whatever, brought back the original creative team, and also returned Eddie Brock to the role of Venom after being gone from it for a lot of years. I couldn't even remember the last time he was Venom.
And the number 1 best-selling comic in the month of May?
Secret Empire, number 1.
Wow.
Secret Empire is also really good. I'm also going to throw this out there. This might be the first time in the time I've been reading comics that Marvel and DC are doing a major event that I like both of.
Better than Amalgam?
Amalgam is just junk. I also yelled at it this week in an article. You can find it at whatculture.com. Go look at it before the end of the month because I still get paid for it.
Were you yelled at Amalgam?
I did yell at Amalgam. Did you not read my article?
I'm going to click on it right now from multiple sources.
I enjoyed this one. It was a good one.
All right.
It was fun.
Well, there you go.
Did you know the Blood of Kiss was in a Marvel comic?
Yes, you told me that several times.
Did I?
Or no, maybe I read it.
Or just read it because I
No.
put that up.
No, I saw it was on when Kiss Ruled the World on VH1. I remember that.
Ah, okay.
And it was also on the Behind the Music.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
It's not normal.
But yeah, Secret Empire. Secret Empire is really good. And DC just started their event last week, DC Metal, which is under, for at least 2 issues, they're calling it Dark Days because they didn't want to say the title Metal.
Metal.
Yeah, you're doing the metal sign.
I am.
By the way, did you see that Gene Simmons tried to copyright that? So you're a dick, I guess, Gene Simmons, for trying to copyright that last week.
I thought you were calling me a dick for doing it, not paying Gene Simmons.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Don't pay Gene Simmons.
I don't plan on it.
Hey, Gene, there's another hand symbol I'm doing towards you. You'll never guess what it is.
That one's also not patented.
Ooh, can we do that? Let's do that.
Then that's very hypocritical. You just called Gene Simmons a prick.
If I can get money for the middle finger.
I don't. How are you going to police that?
I don't know. We're
Can
not
I
there yet.
Can I get grandfathered in?
I mean, I guess you were there for it, for the
All right.
inception.
Yes.
But yeah, literally the first comic for Metal shows like the entire Justice League, and it's in the metal hand sign, including like the thumb over the other fingers, but that's being done with like Batman's cape.
That's kind of badass.
Yeah, Greg Capullo did it. It's really badass.
Is it really metal?
It's super metal. It's
so metal.
Metal is gonna be like all of these Dark Dimension Batmans coming in and trying to just like ruin the world.
Come on, Batman, you're better than that.
Not the evil ones, evil Batman. A
Oh.
lot of evil Batmen.
That's not good. We don't want a lot of evil Batman.
I know, I'm really excited for Metal. Also, Secret
Metal.
Empire's good. Yeah. But those are the top 10 for May comic book sales. I think that should be a thing that we do, so you can try and, get on the gravy train.
I like it. Maybe check off if you've been reading these and see if you're in with the in crowd.
Walking Dead's really good right now, too. Throwing that out there. It is my bestseller. Consistently, Walking Dead has been my best for a long time. I mean, clearly not for everyone else because it's number 10, but, for me,
Still in the top 10. Think about how many thousands of books are out there.
it changes from time to time, but Walking Dead has always been like my top 3. Usually my number 1.
Number 1.
Oh, there's a Jean-Luc Picard book coming out that was in for August, but there was a typo in it, so it said like Jean-Luc Picard. I'm like, that has to be a typo. And I clicked on it, and I'm like, okay, 100% a typo.
Oh, boy.
Good job, Diamond. Not ordering that book now. I'm not ordering anything for Jean-Luc Picard.
I want Jean-Luc Picard.
Exactly. But I guess that will do it for the news. So much news.
Yeah, it's a heavy news week. Well, we've concluded the news, and that could mean only one thing this week. It's time for...
Jared's Listening Corner.
It's Jared's Reading Corner.
That's right, you heard me.
Jared's Listening Corner.
Because sometimes when you're too lazy to read your comic, you decide to get out the old record player, throw on some vinyl, and listen to a comic be read to you. You lazy, lazy person.
I thought you were going to say you get out your comic book, you get out some vinyl, and you trip balls to Dark Side of the Moon or something.
So this week, instead of just reading a book, we've listened to a book.
Yes, it spoke to us. Many volumes of things.
Thankfully, this has been recorded, and we'll be able to splice some of the audio in, which is going to be a little bit rough. What this is a book and record set that was published by Power Records and Peter Pan Records in the 1970s. This lasted a couple of years of basically just horror comics, and I'm really using that term liberally, that were released on vinyl, and you could follow along as you read. It's super lazy and kind of weird.
Wow. This actually you can see the pressing number on it. I was just looking at the vinyl here.
Also, you can buy this in the store. Side note.
Yeah, pressed on 10/29/74.
And this is the first one. There were a bunch that followed this, but it didn't last more than a couple of years.
Pressing 10A.
And immediately what's kind of weird about this is a reprinting of an older Spider-Man comic, but they literally give 0 credit to anyone who did any work on this book. So, doing what Power Records did not, Mark of the Man-Wolf is Amazing Spider-Man number 124. It is written by Jerry Conway, who is still working, penciled by Gil Kane, and inked by John Romita Sr. and Tony Mortellero. Thanks for not giving credit, Power Records. Yeah, pack of pricks.
Yes. It's quite an interesting series of these powerful...
Just because you saw the
Yeah.
word powerful in the back, you're like, it's real powerful.
Yes.
It's real crap.
Well, no, the Adventure series has Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and the Man-Thing.
3 of those are Universal monsters, and one of them is a Marvel monster.
It also includes 4 Planet of the Apes stories.
And some Star Trek ones.
Really?
Oh, later on. So, as we open the Mark of the Man-Wolf, we hear our narrator.
Power Records presents The Mark of the Man-Wolf. The Amazing Spider-Man has many friends, but Jonah Jameson, publisher of the powerful Daily Bugle, isn't one of them.
And starting off, you didn't like the cover of this issue because,
Well, it pretty much gives everything away on the cover.
yeah, I mean, so far, and next week we're going to go back a bit further in time, but you're more used to modern comics so far, let alone kind of, cover art, which was supposed to draw you in, and something that I certainly miss on cover art, word bubbles.
A little dialogue.
which is rarely seen on covers now. And we see that J. Jonah Jameson is being attacked by some kind of a werewolf,
It's the man wolf.
or a man wolf, as it also says. It really ruins everything. He's like, "It's my son!" So, right off the bat, we know what's going on.
Yeah, Jameson has a mutant son.
A man wolf.
A man wolf son. You get the typical opening scene of Jameson, J. Jonah Jameson, at the Daily Bugle, wanting to defame Spider-Man.
What is this, Robertson? Be kind to criminals day?
Now, Jonah, all I said was we'd better be sure about our facts before we publicly condemn Spider-Man. If it turns out he is innocent...
Innocent? Maybe you don't understand, Robertson. A man has been killed. A man who happened to be a good friend of mine. And I believe that wall-crawling menace is responsible. I know it. So get this, Robertson. Since I can't hire someone to bring that killer in, I intend to see justice done another way, by making the public demand his capture at once.
He sounds really similar to J.K. Simmons.
He
Like,
does.
apparently the voice of J. Jonah Jameson has been kind of universal. I did re-listen to it today. By the way, it does not work alone as audio.
No, it doesn't.
Not
it
even a
doesn't-
little.
Doesn't hit like the radio serial would.
No.
No, you need the visuals.
Well, also because there's certain parts where, like, the background audio of, like, the man wolf attacking is so overpowering you can't actually hear the dialogue and stuff like that. So,
Oh, okay.
no, it does not work as a standalone as audio.
Nice.
I can say this as a guy who tried to do it and went, what the hell?
But we get to meet J. Jonah Jameson's son,
John Jameson.
John Jameson.
John Jacob. Okay, wrong thing.
No, we're not singing John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. That would
His
must.
name. Oh, okay.
If his name was my name too, I would requisition for a name change.
There's already a JJJ. Now there's a JJJJ Junior.
J Unit. No, not working for you.
Moving on.
But
Hi, Dad. Thought I'd drop by to pick you up for dinner. It's time you met my fiancée, Christine Saunders.
Fiancé? Well, I must say, it's about time. We were finished, weren't we, Robbie?
If you say so, Jonah. I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Sorry, Robbie. This is my son, John. John's just retired from astronautics. He was one of the last men to make a moonwalk.
it also was neat. You know, John, his son, is an astronaut. They stayed true to that in Spider-Man 2. But he has this weird pendant around his neck.
Right on his Adam's apple.
Yeah, is there no worse cigar smoker than J. Jonah Jameson, by the way?
Marvel doesn't allow that anymore.
Probably for the best. It is one of the leading causes of multiple health problems. Not that there's anything wrong with a good cigar every now and then.
There are zero smokers in the Marvel Universe anymore, though. That's been gone for a long while. Like, chain smokers like John Jonas Jameson, Wolverine, Gambit, these guys don't smoke at all anymore. The last example I can remember of it is there was a Wolverine annual where he murdered like 80,000 ninjas, and one of the ninjas was smoking, and Wolverine was like, he picked up the cigarette, he's like, should I? And then he put it down, he's like, nah, Kitty would kill me. You chain smoked for 40 years!
And you're an alcoholic.
That too! That's still fine, but don't smoke.
And you kill people. If Kitty
Also,
Pryde-
in this issue, like, you killed like 80 ninjas.
And if Kitty Pryde's going to have an issue with you, it's probably not going to be over smoking.
Yeah, probably the murder. The 80 ninjas you just murdered.
Yes.
That annual from like 10 years ago. If someone knows what that is, I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Anyway, I like some of the old school comic though. Like you read it and like this whole like segment where John Jameson transforms. It's just like,
yeah. So
and in several seconds we see before us a man wolf.
Later this same evening, in a brownstone overlooking the Hudson River, a door opens, releasing a sliver of yellow light and the stumbling form of a young man.
Nothing I can do. It's happening again. I'm changing.
And in several seconds, we see before us a man-wolf. Whoever was present in this creature a moment ago is gone. Now there is only an animal.
I also like how everyone calls him a man wolf with zero like regard to it. So John shows up. He's like, "Hey, Dad / John Jonah Jameson, would you like to meet my girlfriend? Oops, I've got to go. I'm turning into a man wolf." No. Which is hilarious audio.
Yes. By the way, question: when he turns into the man wolf, he has on this yellow tank top and yellow shorts. He's not wearing anything yellow. He's wearing like a green and purple leisure suit inside the office of the Daily Planet. Where did this green and yellow outfit come from?
I think no, because he's tearing his clothes away. He gets some sweet buys and tries when he transforms.
But you see, as his shirt's coming off, he's got this other shirt underneath.
It's an undershirt.
With a big rimmed collar and
Yeah.
a big rimmed... Okay.
Yeah, he wants to, not sweat through his outer layer.
Can I also ask another question? Where's his tail? He's a man wolf with no tail.
He's a eunuch wolf.
Is he hungry like the wolf? In
No.
fact, yes, he is. Yes, he is. Because he has a quarry, and that quarry is man.
So now that John is the man wolf for literally no explained reason,
Yes.
it will be, and weirdly, but it's very of the time, he attacks John, or does he?
The man wolf leaps.
What in the name of heaven? Who are you and what's the meaning of this? Do you realize who I am? The name is Jonah Jameson, my friend, and I'll have you know J. Jonah Jameson is not the kind of man to be amused by some sort of infantile joke. I demand an explanation for this ridiculous costume.
Okay, first of all, when he gets attacked, can I just make one quick question?
You may.
So he's up on
I'll allow it.
He's up on this high rise, right? And it's like this man wolf jumps through the window, all right? And Jameson goes, I'm not the kind of man to be amused by some sort of infantile joke. I demand an explanation for this ridiculous costume. How about like an explanation for how the hell did you jump through this 12th or 40th story window? Where did you come from? Not this, I demand an explanation for this ridiculous costume.
Yeah, he's really concerned with like this wolf. It's like, that's definitely a
Yeah.
costume. If a werewolf jumped through my window, a Lon Chaney Jr., if you will, I'd be like, oh my, a wolf man or a man wolf.
Also, does he not have the worst corner office in all of Manhattan? Because it seems every time I read a Spider-Man book, somebody's crashing in through the window of his office.
Wait till next week.
Does he get his office broken into again?
Ooh, baby.
I mean, in Spider-Man 1, the first Spider-Man movie, from the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans, his office gets blown up and then repaired very easily.
But the man wolf attacks Jameson, and we cut to Spider-Man, who
is vandalizing.
Yeah. There's a newspaper stand. He punches it out and yells at it, and Spider-Man sounds weird. He sounds a little bit like this.
Peter Parker, boy student, who is otherwise known as Spider-Man, is passing a newsstand. One glimpse of the Daily Bugle and...
That does it. This time Jameson's gone too far. The Spider-Man Menace, a new series by J. Jonah Jameson. Every time something happens in this town, Jameson blames me.
Does he sound like a guy in his early 20s?
See, I disagree with you that he sounds like a smoker.
I said that before. Yeah, I'm like, he sounds like a 45-year-old just put away like 2 packs a day.
He sounds like Spider-Man-ish.
He sounds so weird. He's just like disconnected from everything. He's like, ah, that Jameson.
Yeah, but more importantly,
I did not like their Spider-Man actor.
No, but more importantly, like, he's like, Spider-Man is destroying everything around him right now.
Also, I wrote these notes like 2 weeks ago. I haven't looked at them in a while.
Yes.
Spider-Man comes in, massively sucks. Property damage? Question mark?
He throws a bunch of, like, he works for the Daily Bugle, and yet he's throwing all of these papers onto the ground in what appears to be the rain. Does it not look like it's raining?
No, it's definitely raining, but this is an issue that I'm really having a lot of trouble qualifying as itself, because my first time reading it was through listening to it, so I can't really tell if it's any good, because listening to it is super boring.
I also like
it takes 15 minutes to read the whole damn thing, and it really drags the speed down. Some of the advantage of comic books is you control the pacing.
Well, that's
you
the
read
same
it
with
however you want it
It's
to.
the same with any book.
Yeah, but this, and it's not a book on tape. You can't just listen to it. You have to have the visuals to go along with it. Literally half of the storytelling is the visual side of it. So it just drags it down and makes it boring. And this is a weird experiment in how to present comics.
Also, the fact that Spider-Man's like, you better hope your insurance is paid up, buddy, because mister, you're gonna need it. He's threatening to assault him.
I'll show you a menace, Jameson. You just better hope your insurance is paid up, buddy. Because, mister, you're gonna need it.
Come on.
Spider-Man's gonna kick some ass.
You're better than that.
Spider-Man arrives at Jameson's apartment pissed off that Jameson is writing a negative piece about him, which he's definitely been doing for the last 123 issues. Because Jameson was introducing Amazing Spider-Man #2. Tune in next week.
All right. But anyway, he enters in, and of course the first thing that Jameson thinks is he's in it with the Man-Wolf.
They're in cahoots. And they fight.
Yes, they do. Do we have some audio of the fight? Because it's not very incredible.
I mean, we can.
Let's throw a little fight audio in there.
You're really asking a lot of me, but sure.
Okay.
Spider-Man, you're in this too.
In case you hadn't noticed, Sweetums, I just saved your life. You. Say, Jonah, I didn't think you were so lovable. I'd say White Fang here had a grudge against you. Think about it, Jameson. Have you insulted any werewolves lately? Don't scare me a bit. I've been spoiling for a good fight, and it's about time I... Oh!
Our hero isn't faring too well. Look out, Spider-Man! Look out! Spider-Man, unconscious.
Well, that was thrilling.
Yes, it was. I like this. I'd say White Fang here has a grudge against you. Like a little Jack London reference there. Peter Parker, an educated man, well versed in the classics. He also gets a concussion, but that's neither here nor there.
And as the fight concludes, Jameson recognizes something. He can't continue this hunt for the Man-Wolf. So glad we've all agreed on the name.
Yes.
Oh wait, he recognized this wolf as his son.
Oh no.
Wow, wow.
Spider-Man, I swear to you, if you move one muscle against that creature, I'll report this as an attempt on my life by you. Am I clear?
Loud and clear. Next time, remind me not to play Good Samaritan. Some people have a weird sense of gratitude.
Grateful? How can I be grateful to the man I hate most in the world? How can I be grateful when the mad killer he saved me from is my son?
Can you imagine, like, bringing your son to work day, bring your dad to work day? Hi, I'm the Man-Wolf. This is my dad. I'm a Man-Wolf, and he's not. The end. Would be very.
I did that for like 30 whole seconds, like the whole like bring your kid to work day thing.
Yeah.
Like, this sucks and I hate everything.
How'd that work out? Got to go home?
He was like, I agree, this sucks, but I hate everything.
Oh, wow. That's a real learning experience right there. Working sucks and you'll hate everything.
Thanks, Dad.
Anyway.
He doesn't listen to this.
But now we get to, the Man-Wolf is hunting down Spider-Man, who's like totally chilled out now that he's fought the Man-Wolf. He's like, I'm not mad anymore.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, all those defamations articles about me, they're fine.
Oh, no, not the Man-Wolf again. What are you doing here? If you're looking for a fight. Look out! You're pushing us over the edge. We're gonna fall. That crummy newspaper of his, but even JJJ didn't pay a man to go this far.
So the Wolfman defeats Spider-Man running away.
Until the moon
disappears.
Yes.
You're like, the moon appears and he turns into a wolf. He already was a wolf.
Oh boy.
And he turns back into a man from a wolf, and now he's just a man.
Who's passed out on his dad's couch. And it's like typical dad.
He just sounds like a burnout now.
Wake up. I want an explanation as to why you're passed out on my couch and why you were a man-wolf thing.
Blasted boy, answer me! Oh, dear Lord, that costume. I'd recognize it anywhere. It's true, then. My son is a man-wolf. John, wake up! I demand an explanation, at once!
And John's like, hey, I went to the moon. Remember that? That should have been on the news. And I found a gem that made me a man-wolf. And it's actually fused itself with my neck.
And that's a problem. I don't like it.
I can't actually pull it off. Maybe I should go get some surgery to remove this thing, because, you feel like something that's just on the top of my skin would be surgically removable, but don't you worry about it. I'm just going to be a man-wolf, and I'm going to probably murder you.
Also, not sure if he killed, actually, like, it looks like he's killing his fiancée, Christine.
Nah, she's alive. She's fine.
Well, I know she is, but still.
She has some sweet cheekbones.
Yes, and she's also wearing a yellow outfit. They match.
They do actually match together. They're yellow jumpsuits.
Yes.
It really shows off the buys and the tries of both of them.
Very Flash Gordon-like. He backhands the shit out of J. Jonah Jameson when he transforms back into the Man-Wolf.
In his short shorts.
So anyway, he transforms back, and Spider-Man's like, I'm gonna beat him tonight.
Meanwhile, a few blocks away, Spider-Man starts on his moonlight journey. Hurry, Spider-Man, hurry!
Great, what a good night's sleep can do. I almost feel like myself again. Now, what was going through my mind? A pendant. A pendant. Hey, wait a minute. My subconscious must have been working overtime because it just put 2 and 2 together and came up with 4.
And he looks out and he finds the Man-Wolf. And in like the most anticlimactic fight in the history of Spider-Man fights, he just uses his webbing.
He just pulls off the pendant. He's like, all right, we're done here.
Oh!
You are no longer a Man-Wolf.
Nope, he's not. But why in the world would Spider-Man just throw it into the river?
Yeah, that's all he does. He's like, all right, you're not a Man-Wolf. Pollution! We don't have enough of that in New York, baby.
John, son, are you all right?
He's just fine, Jameson. Now that this thing's off him. Better get him a doctor, though. Fast.
Doctor? What? The publicity?
Publicity? Your son's life was at stake, not to mention the lives of people he might have killed. Let's hope we stopped him in time.
And that ends this issue, and I don't know, it's probably fine by itself, but listening to it, it's super boring.
Yeah, it was like a fun novelty for once.
Yeah, I mean, it was a way to try and sell more comics, and it's a way to try and bring people into the market, but ultimately it's just kind of dumb.
I mean, it's, like I said, fun novelty. I mean, you can find it on YouTube, and it flashes the pages on the YouTube video.
Why would you tell them that when they can buy it in store?
That's getting cut, isn't it?
No, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a fun little novelty if you can get your hands on it.
I know where you can.
Me too. It might just be at 210 Water Street in Hollowell.
But ultimately, this was a dumb novelty. It only lasted a few years. Don't bother, I guess. Or do.
I mean, if it's up to you. It depends what you're you're into and want to kind of like, if you're into collecting some novelty stuff, then why not?
But that being said, this is a weird one. Let's get into letters to the editors.
Yes.
Lot of questions, number one. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
I should have prepped a letter ahead of time. I didn't. So I'm just going to go with the most recent one. Maybe 2. We'll see.
Oh, yes, please.
Probably
Multiple letters. Well, you know what? We totally have neglected. This is the first day of summer. Summer's here, baby.
Humid as can be. Our letter this week. How are DC and Marvel both allowed to have characters named Captain Marvel? Shazam and Carol Danvers. Is there some history there?
Yes, Zach, is there some history there?
I was going to let you try and do this and then screw it up.
I mean, I don't even want to try.
Okay, then I'll get into it.
Yes,
so,
please.
originally, Captain Marvel, or Shazam as he's known, who is going to be playing opposite of The Rock's Black Adam, originally he was a character in Charleston Comics. But Charleston Comics was literally sued out of business by DC for making a Superman clone. You know, your guy who can fly and jump and superpowered and has like slicked black hair and a cape and all that crap. DC sued them out of existence and took over the character of Captain Marvel from Charlton Comics. And from there, Marvel Comics was like, you absolutely cannot have a character named Captain Marvel.
Because we're Marvel.
Yeah. And they had their own character, Captain Marvel, who was a Kree soldier. And then it turned into Miss Marvel, which was Carol Danvers. And now, once again, it's Captain Marvel. And if you want to look up something super depressing, look up the original, like, Charleston Comics DC Captain Marvel if you want to just get sad.
I don't like being sad.
It involves the death of a teenager, suicide in an insane asylum.
I like being glad, and that is not glad.
No, there is literally no aspect of the Captain Marvel story that is happy.
That's depressing as hell.
Yeah, super.
Yes.
That was a quickie.
Is there another one or no?
I guess I can pull up another one.
Okay, let's go. You know what we need? I'd love to bring back the Editor's Note Comics podcast mailbag.
Oh, that one episode?
Yeah, that was a fun episode.
Where we, did...
It was all just reader questions.
Yeah, we should do that eventually. Screw it, from the same guy. It's fine.
All right,
thanks, guy.
A twofer.
What's next for Ghost Rider? He was Kick-Ass in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and his current series is awesome, too. They wouldn't just scrap him away, would they? Well, that comic series, this letter is from March.
Oh, wow.
That series totally got scrapped in comics.
So to answer your question, they totally would scrap him.
Yeah. I would like to see another Ghost Rider series. We haven't had a good Ghost Rider comic series in a while. Even the current comic series, when I say current, I mean now defunct one, was kind of garbage. We haven't seen a good one in a bit. What's next for him? There was a lot of speculation around him getting a Netflix show because he really was a good aspect of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing. I would really like to see a continuation of him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because we have the most recent Ghost Rider in that show, Robbie Reyes, but we see him getting his Ghost Rider powers presumably in just one scene from the original Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze. Yes, that's his name. I didn't do it. Don't blame me.
Well, no, I know that from the Nick Cage movie.
Ooh.
I didn't say it was a good movie.
Look, it's a dumb name. I am not denying that. His name is Johnny Blaze.
But he likes to smoke that marijuana.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, he's always on fire. Well, not always, but I mean, he can be on fire, I suppose.
I mean, he's always out hunting for vengeance. Marijuana seems like a good way to mellow him out.
They can
for
just chill him down a little bit. Yeah, this guy's out of control.
But ideally, what I would like to see is more of a connection to what is the previous line of Ghost Riders. Is Daniel Kitchen there, the one who followed up Johnny Blaze? What's the origin of Johnny Blaze? Like, how do we connect it all into the universe as a whole versus just a one-scene reference to there is another Ghost Rider out there? That's what I'd like. I don't necessarily need to see an entire series with this one character, mostly because they've kind of already harvested his roots into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They already took his one big story and utilized it, and there's not a lot else to kind of dive into the specific character. But if you made it a larger mythos within Ghost Rider within that show, even though next year of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is in space?
Space isn't a bad place. You've always said, put me in space. Give me some things
I
in
agree.
space.
Put Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in, which is where it's going. They're in space, so yay.
Good for them.
Every show should go to space. Seinfeld in space, baby.
Shark Week in space.
I never watched Shark Week.
That's coming up.
Better Call Saul ended this week. Made me sad. In space.
It didn't go to space, did it?
It didn't.
Oh.
It telegraphed its ending a little bit.
What if we did ourselves in space?
I'd do that show. But if you want to find the show, you can find it over on editorsnotecomics.com, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, mostly the former and the latter, kind of screw the middle.
But that's where the good part of the
you know what?
sandwich is.
Actually, I'll try and post more on Instagram. I'll do it this week. I'll throw up at least one image.
Of Kirby.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
He's photogenic.
He's a dog.
He's a good-looking dog.
Yeah, he is. He's pretty, yeah.
But
in spite of you, yes, he's a good-looking dog.
Well, I picked him out.
Oh.
Well. I took him on a photo lineup and said, I'll take the good-looking one.
Yes, because you needed everything you could to help boost your looks.
Leave the Uggo-Fuggos in the kill shelter.
Oh, God. Why would you call it a kill shelter?
It actually wasn't. It was a no-kill shelter.
Oh, my God.
It just sounded funnier that way.
No, it doesn't sound funnier at all. That's bad.
Actually, yeah, you're right.
It's pretty horrible. It's terrible. Oh, he's good-looking, so don't kill him.
Yes.
That's terrible. Continue on.
If I get the show a day early, you can head over to patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. Not only will I get you this show a day early, that same dollar will get you my other show, The Buffy Backish, who's been a whole week early. Once again, good jumping on point this week. And then if you want beyond the jumping on point, you sign up to Patreon. Bam, there's another show ready for you. Oh my God.
Back to back.
And I guess I have a store.
Yeah, 210 Water Street. Any sales? Anything exciting coming up?
Old Hollowell Day's coming.
Yes, that'll be fun.
The biggest day of the year.
In Hollowell, at least.
I'd like to hope for me.
Oh, yes. That would also be good for you. There you go.
You know what? Free mimosas all day that day.
You don't have a license to give out free alcohol.
Don't you have to have a license to get money for alcohol?
You have to have a license to sell alcohol, yes.
I said free.
I think that also you might really be running into some other legal issues there.
Also, I'm lying. I'm not giving anyone anything for free.
That's also... yes.
I'm just trying to get them through the door. And then when they get really awkward, like, so free mimosas, like,
yeah.
No, those are already out. Sorry.
Yeah, free mimosa, but your store just opened. It's going to be a long day, and I needed my vitamin C.
I've been here for a while, babe.
Oh, God.
And you're on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter, @JuniorRich.
That mimosa thing, that's...
I do
Not
like a good
real.
mimosa.
It's not real.
I know it's not real. Would you fruit the mimosas if you were giving away free mimosas?
It'd just be orange juice.
You'd be like orange juice and like, what was that knockoff? Like, it wasn't knockoff. It was like the champagne that the time that we had brunch at the Senator for our friend's birthday, and I got a mimosa. It was like, instead of Dom Perignon, it was like Dom Berenger or something like that.
It was Tom Berenger.
It was, he's gotten big. Funny you should say that. I was actually watching Gettysburg the other day.
I guess that's it. We'll be back next.
What do we got next week? What's on the show next week?
Oh, we're going back to Silver Age Spider-Man.
Oh.
So early, I think it's pretty early. It's like Spider-Man's third appearance.
Wow.
Because we're talking
way back.
The Vulture's first appearance in order to prep for Spider-Man Homecoming.
Well, that's coming out very shortly.
In 2 weeks.
I am excited.
Yeah, that's where we're going to talk about the Vulture.
I love me some Spider-Man.
Learn about the Vulture. Or go read an article I wrote or something. It's out there.
Or just stop by the store and
I don't know.
Talk about the Vulture.
I don't get paid for that one anymore. It's fine. Just listen next week.
Anyway, we'll see you next week.
So long. Farewell.
No. Don't sing.
Avita say so long.
Bye, everybody.